Yes, people, welcome back. How are we all doing? This is Lion in the Room, episode 17. I'm your host, Leo, the host with the most, and I'm back with my boy, K. How you doing, man?
Hey guys, how you doing? It's been a minute.
Yeah. So don't forget, people, holiday season, we are in December, and in 5 days we'll be going into the new year. This is a wonderful time, and it's also a great time for us to sit back, relax, remember the good things that happened in the year. You can remember some of the bads, but just acknowledge what happened and look at how you've moved on. The great thing about this 2024 is that I really feel that for all of us that want more for ourselves, we've been able to sit down and look at our past mistakes, analyze them, and use them as a trampoline to bounce back, to get back in line for our own greatness. So let's just keep pushing and let's have a good time as we get into the new year. With that, Kay, I want to ask you, man, how you doing? Catch up with me, bro.
Yeah, man, I've been all right. As of late, man, I've been trying to, just put myself out there more. Ever since we started this podcast, we've been, building the followers. We reached 100 before the end of the year. Shout out to you guys. This is episode 17 now. We're almost at episode 20. I remember when we first started, episode 1, sitting behind the camera watching Oge. Episode 2, now almost at 20. Just had a few busy days since, finally going off Christmas holiday, winding down, preparing for the new year, just setting goals for myself for 2025 and pushing, start strong. Yeah.
You got any goals? Just one goal you want to share with the people?
Okay. One goal. Actually, yes. So I got baptized. Remember, I told you this. I got baptized. I think it would have been 2 weeks ago. Close to 2 weeks ago. And so I think for my goal for 2025 is to really push even harder with my faith. Push even harder with my relationship with God. That's a main goal for me next year as well. Since I've already started, but I want to really see the result when I look back. And just
That's good, man. That's good. For me, I mean, obvious. I'm going to keep it going with the podcast. The whole point now is to continue making great content for you guys so that we can continue to grow as a community. If you enjoy the content, then obviously I would like you to share it, but I can't force people to share, it has to be something that's enjoyable and at the same time insightful. So those are two different things that are quite hard to do. But I really believe that when we take the time to listen to anything, we can decipher, and for ourselves, we'd be able to tell whether that's good information or, bad information. But a lot of times people like to listen to bad information, it just seems better. You get more tea, you get more juicy gist and gossip from it, but hey, maybe we'll bring that out. Maybe that's what Lion in the Room is meant for. No, it's not. But either way, it's just, working on the podcast, working on the grind. And I really feel I'm in a good headspace. Shoot, man. For your baptism, I'd obviously say as Christians, the walk is gonna be hard, but as you've come back to God willingly, don't forget that you can always come back to God. It's something that you can always do. You can always come back to Him and say, I messed up. I need your grace. And you keep pushing forward. So the journey is going to be hot, man. The journey is going to be good. And I'm looking forward to it, man. But hey, let's talk about something else. You went out a few times last week, and you got to go to a few different places. Tell me, what's it like partying, socializing now that we've been away from it for so long? Tell me how it feels, and do you miss it?
That's actually a really interesting one.
Mingling with the people, old friends, new friends.
Yeah, because I remember about 4 years ago, it's been 4 years now, when we used to go out all the time, when we first started uni. I think I find it more enjoyable now, if I say, because my priorities have changed. Like, I'm not, without getting into too much detail, I'm not looking for a certain thing, certain things. I'm really just here to, just have fun, eat, speak to friends now, considering we're all working adults. Like, we're not in uni anymore. So it's
Mhm.
like we don't get to see each other. Just appreciate the fact that I haven't seen these guys in a while. It's great to see them. Great to just hang out, have a chat, talk about life, where we're going, what our goals are. Sometimes we still even talk about work, the stereotypical stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I think even as of now, I think I prefer it now versus then.
Mm.
In fact, so I recently saw my friend. He's a good, really good childhood friend of mine. Shout out to him. We're always talking like online. Like for the past 7 years, we've talked online almost every other day, but we haven't actually seen each other before recently in 5 years in
Yeah.
person. So it was really good to see him, catch up, spend the day, just, chat, find out, see how things are going and whatnot. So yeah, I'd say I think I prefer it now versus back then.
What are the stereotypes? What stereotypes do you guys? What stereotypes do you have? Do you normally see at work?
We have so not in my current workplace, because my current workplace is quite unique in the sense that it's like it's like I describe it as a well-oiled engine. Like
Yeah.
everyone is like together. It's
Every
like a
part
team.
works well.
Yeah, every part works well. It's competitive, but
Mhm.
like sibling rivalry, that
Okay.
type of thing.
Yeah.
You don't actually see people trying to undercut each other and whatnot. So if I'll use my previous workplace as an example.
Hmm.
Back then, it's more of like, okay, so you have someone who's working really hard, trying to brown nose, if that's what I'd say, you know, trying to brown nose, try and get, the promotions and the whatnots. You might have someone who's more grounded, who knows how the workplace is, who realizes, look, like at the end of the day, you're just an employee to them.
Hmm.
You'll have someone who's just kind of in the middle, and then I was just kind of there in the midst of all of it, like coming in. I wouldn't describe it as chaotic, but it's just there was a lot going on when I came in at the time.
Yeah.
And it was just really like I lost my motivation to work there. Like within the first month,
Hmm.
it was just horrible. Like in the
That's
first
your
month.
old job.
Yeah, my old job, not my current one. My current one is great.
The current one's like you said the current one's the well-oiled
Well-oiled
machine.
engine, well-oiled machine.
Okay.
Everyone is working because there's real incentives. Like,
Hmm.
everyone's happy. In fact, we even did our end of year party. That was great. Had a lot of fun then. But with my old job, it was almost soul crushing. Like,
Mm.
in the sense that it's like the team itself, the floor is good,
Yeah.
but the upper management is so presses down so hard on the floor, it's demoralizing,
Mhm.
really. So it kind of kills the spirit. Whatever spirit there is, it just kills it, and it's like, okay, yeah, just another day. Let's just do this and let's
Okay.
go home. That type of thing.
Yeah, no, I can imagine, man. Especially when it's not a job you love.
Mhm.
It's something that is just part of that journey,
Yeah,
and you're there, and you realize that your higher ups aren't able to motivate you the way you expect them to.
yeah,
I mean, obviously, as a person, as people, we try to motivate ourselves, but when you are working for someone, it's like having a leader. It's like being led, and your leader isn't doing the best of their giving 100%
yeah,
to make you guys want to give 100%.
exactly.
Of course, there would be more stereotypes and other things like that, but hey, at the end of the day, that's life, that's
Yeah.
life, but we just got to push past it. Me, bro, sometimes you just realize that after a while, you feel like you've just been working at a place for a certain amount of time. And when things like that come into a person's mind, I'd always say take some time and think about it. Don't try not to act emotionally, because based off of emotion, you can make a choice very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But the only issue is that you're gonna see the consequence of that choice, whether it was a good choice or a bad choice, right at the end.
Yeah.
It's never really in the middle. It's always at the end. So when it comes to things like work and being able to socialize at work or just being happy at work, man, we try to understand that we're there for ourselves. That's the main thing. The contract is mine. The money I get is mine. Anything else is on the side.
Yeah.
Anything else is on the side. Unless you are trying to move up in the company and you want better, then you can start to involve yourself in all those other things. But once you're happy for yourself and you're satisfied with the way things are going, you start to push past all the little bits and bobs, all the commas and full stops at work, you know what I mean? But hey guys, I'd say that was a nice catch up. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. This has been Lion in the Room. And the lovely thing about us is that hopefully by next year, we would be on a lot more streaming services. So Apple Music and all the other ones. We might even be on Audible. I think Audible sells so much.
Yeah, we really should actually.
Audible sells so much. Like, imagine having our voices on Audible.
Like, you can be at like work. Now, wait, I'm not saying do it, but like, if you really want to, you can be on work just listening to us. You don't actually have to look at our faces, you know.
No, listen to Lion in the Room. Yeah. Listen to Lion in the Room at work, man. I'll tell you too.
Yeah, listen to us, you know. I'm sure we're telling you great stuff, you know, great life advice, cracking a few jokes here and there. You know, I'll even let you know your manager's coming, by the way. He's actually just walking down. So pretend like you're working, but hey.
There you go, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's get into it.
All right.
Okay, have you heard of do you watch the NFL?
A little bit here and there.
I don't, but bro, when I saw this, shout out to one of the YouTubers that we watch. He's called Young Don. Young Don Reborn is his YouTube. But I saw on his channel, Heisman Trophy winner, NFL. Well, he's a big NFL prospect.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of that name before.
Yeah, cool. You've heard of his girlfriend too as well.
Yes.
It's crazy. So Travis Hunter, lovely, great player, man. He recently won the award. And if he plays his cards well, he's probably going to be, you know, the NFL #1 pick.
Yeah, probably.
But all the limelight that his girlfriend is getting right now and got before is crazy.
Indeed.
Now, his girlfriend, we don't need to mention her name, is basically a gold digger. She, how do I put this? She was seen in the music video all getting rubbed up. She was getting her thigh rubbed up by some music artist. She was wearing, well, it don't really matter now, ladies wear whatever, but she's just there. She's being a groupie, dancing with other men way before they started dating, you know. But Travis Hunter said they were dating for 5 years. Now, she's just been making him famous for the wrong things, not giving him support in his games, getting angry at him for, you know, saying hi to fans or cheerleaders due to their support. And there's speculations that she's been cheating. Now, I'm not trying to put all the focus on them, but I want to use them as a way to ask this question.
Okay.
My first question, one, is why is it hard for sports stars, athletes, prospects, future greats, why is it hard for them to focus on their progress or their future success? Why is it hard for them? Why do they always get sidetracked and end up being hooked down by either a bad relationship or a bad financial choice or just a bad lifestyle?
Yeah.
Like, he's not the first person. PJ Washington with Brittany Renner.
That one, you know what, when I saw that one, I would have said that should be illegal.
Like, it's crazy, isn't it?
She's like what, almost 7 to 10 years older than him.
Yeah, she was in her 30s and he was, you know, young 20s. I mean, shout out to PJ. He's doing good now in Dallas, no? Yeah. Dallas Mavericks. He's kind of rebooted his career.
Yeah.
But that stuff's always there. That stuff's always there, man.
I think the thing is, like, when you actually really think about it, when it comes down to it, there's actually a lot that goes on. Like, imagine now, let's use this channel, for example. You know, when this channel eventually blows up, yes, I say when because it's inevitable. It's going to happen. When this channel blows up, we're going to have to consider a lot of things. It's not just now, okay, yes, we put the videos out. We're going to have to consider the finances. We're going to have to consider, would we get a team, an editing team? Would we get a camera team? Would we get all these things? But it's like, when you succeed, no one actually teaches you to prepare for what comes after you succeed, you know? So when these players, they blow up, you know, they have all this attention suddenly that's on them. They don't give them, you know, they don't always get media training. They don't always get how to interact with people in the public. You know, maybe someone may have never been really getting too much attention or just average attention. Suddenly, all the IG models are in your DMs and all that. Not saying it happens all the time, but for the times it does happen, it's like, okay, this has never happened to me before. We all know how we act when, remember how we were happy when we first got our first 100,
Yeah.
we were quite
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
We were like, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So it's like, to them, it's like, when all these things are happening, it's like, no one really knows how to act.
Yeah.
It's when it happens again and again, okay, the people get used to it,
Mhm, mhm.
So it's like, they've never been in this space before, so they don't really know what to do. They just go with whatever comes to their mind impulsively. They saw an IG model in their DMs. Oh, she looks good. Why not? That type of thing.
And you don't know her, you don't know her backstory,
You don't
her
know her
character.
backstory. You don't know her character. You don't know anything. It's
And you
just
don't even know the guy she's been with before.
exactly. It's
Does
just,
that matter? The guys that a girl's been with before,
what?
does it matter?
You know what? That's a good question. To be honest, I'd say it matters for everyone, but it doesn't at the same time. Like, okay, let's look at this. If someone was being responsible, being careful, just living their life, then yeah, no, it doesn't really matter,
Yeah,
to be honest.
I agree.
But if someone who's known to have previous tumultuous relationships, the last relationship, problem, the one before that, a problem, then there's a pattern. It's either, okay, now let's take a deeper look into it. Let's see, maybe it was just a case of, the people that they were going to were bad and had their issues. That could also spark a second question. Okay, why did they keep falling into that? But if it's a case where every relationship they've been in previously before you has resulted in some sort of problem, we might actually have to just think maybe that person is the problem.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then you should think about it. Think twice before jumping into it. And then you just enter another bad relationship, So yeah, I would say it does and it doesn't. It does and it doesn't matter depending on, someone who's been with in the past.
Well, look at this now, because Bow Wow, Bow Wow.
Yeah, I know.
It was a kid for like how many years, bro?
Yeah, I remember that guy.
So it says Bow Wow warns Travis Hunter about fiance Liana Lene. I think I got her name right. Amid old twerk video controversy.
Oh my.
So basically, it says Bow Wow's joined the masses advocating for Heisman winner Travis Hunter to break up his fiance Liana Lene. So some of them are even telling him to leave her. Now, this is what I'd say, bro. Like, for a guy and a girl, men and women, you don't want to date someone that's everywhere.
Yeah.
You don't want to date someone that always wants to be seen, an attention seeker.
Yeah.
Because they're never going to get tired.
Yeah.
Do you know she also, because Twitter is crazy. They will catch you. She put the money tongue emoji on Anthony Edwards' post. That's not your man.
What?
That's not your man.
Why?
She put unlike some people, like even Angel Reese is like, people should leave her alone because, during the Heisman Award ceremony, she didn't stand up to show support for Travis as he was announced the winner.
This has to be a joke.
Bro, like me personally, I don't really care about anything else aside from loyalty.
Exactly.
Whatever you did in your past, is your past, cool, as long as you leave it there. Leave your past there. Because you're bringing it for me, or bringing it for him, a prospect, a potential go-getter. Like, sure, for anyone else that doesn't really care about his situation, that's just, money. That's an ATM.
Yeah.
But come on, man. I feel like a lot of people need to think better about their character. A lot of people need to think better about, what do they call that thing? Your footprint.
Yeah.
On the internet.
They call it digital footprint.
Yes, your digital footprint, because damn, who knows if she's changed? Who knows if she's living, a respectful life and she loves her man? But the internet don't play, bro. They will bring out so many different things, man.
They've brought out so much.
So many different things from so many different people. And with her, it's not even the first instance. It's not the first headline. Like, she's trending. He's trending.
You know what?
He deactivated his account.
Yeah, I saw
his account deactivated, bro. Imagine being called a glazer, simp. Bro, they've been calling him a simp because he was like, oh yeah, I don't know what you guys been talking about. Me and my girl, we've been together for 5 years, and 3 years ago she was getting rubbed down. So
what's going on?
Were you in that relationship then?
It's not making sense. You know what? I was willing to actually give the benefit of the doubt for a lot of these things in the sense of like, okay, let's wait till more information comes out. But where I draw the line, right? As you said, loyalty. Like the past is the past. At the end of the day, everyone is a human being who lives their lives. Because the way I see it is like, okay, they were living their lives. They didn't know you exist. It's not like they knew you existed and you were after them and they were still doing. They didn't know. They had no idea that you actually were a person living. Where I draw the line, when he's getting his Heisman Award, you didn't stand up to support. It doesn't take much for you to just stand up, clap, maybe shout. You know how you were shouting when you were, throwing it back on that guy in the video, Like, look, I don't like to get involved in all these things, but you know what? I think he should just break up with her. Like, I just think he should just break up with her, focus on his career, and because he has. Let's really look at it. It's funny because we're all looking at this drama, but let's actually look at it. This guy is a Heisman winner. That's usually that's the top player in college football.
Yeah.
At this point, it's like he has such a good prospect for him going. Normally, if this is a normal NFL player, Heisman, everyone's already thinking, you know what, I think he's going to be a top player in the league. I think he's going to be this. It's like when Lamar Jackson got drafted into the league. I don't know too much about NFL, but I'm still tapped in the league. When Lamar Jackson got drafted into the league, everyone's like, yeah, he's going to be something. He's going to be special. I used to see some of his highlights. That's what they were talking about.
Yeah.
They weren't talking about him and some girl. They were just talking about that. Most people don't even know Travis Hunter for the fact that he's a Heisman winner.
True.
They know him because of the situation.
I just found out now. Found out now he was a Heisman winner.
Exactly. So it's like, really and truly, I just think, honestly, he should just break up with her. Like, break up with her, clean break, call it a day, leave it alone. You don't need to bash her or say anything. Just break up, move on with your life, and stick to people, have a good support system, stick with people who actually support you. Because at this point, this is just a joke. What is this? You get your award. It's like, imagine now we blow, and when we blow, and it's like, my girl doesn't support, or your girl doesn't support. You think twice.
Yeah, it would be a weird situation. For me, like what I would say, your loved ones always need your support. Your partner would like support from you, what I mean? What I would say, if there is anybody, guy or girl, causing issues, putting you in headlines for the wrong thing, and that person isn't changing up, then they gotta go.
Yeah, they just gotta go.
They gotta go, because then they're not understanding and they're not being considerate enough to look at the fact that their actions or their past actions are becoming a problem. You need to squash them. And if you're not gonna squash them, and I'm here looking like I'm a joker, I'm here looking like I'm not taking my career serious, while at the same time I'm trying to defend you, you don't need to be in my life.
Yeah. Simple.
You got a nice little shovel in your car. Just, take it in there. Just because it's crazy, You see a lot of ladies in the sports world, be it they are the sports person, the sports people, or they are the partner of a sports person. They're supportive. But you only find a select few.
Indeed.
You only find a select few, Obviously, like, LeBron's such a huge name that there's no way you're not going to hear about his partner, Savannah, his wife, Savannah. You know what I mean? But there's never any kind of backlash that shows her being conflictual or bringing any kind of conflict into LeBron's life.
Exactly.
It's always either about how he's played, or right now it's kind of about Bronny. But that sounds like he's got a good person and she's got a good person around him. No, not all this. They're looking back over the years and they're seeing you were with this guy, you were doing with that guy.
They're putting up videos of her on the private snap.
Nah.
In fact, shout out to Savannah, because really and truly, they were high school sweethearts. Like,
really?
Yeah, all the way through. High school sweethearts, together when he was still in high school, even when he got into the league. They married now, 2 kids. Like, when I think of LeBron, like,
3 kids.
There's 3 kids, yeah. I'm not that type.
You don't remember the little daughter?
No, I don't.
I think she's got more talent than the two of them.
Maybe, she might push the dub. But yeah, that's just what I'm saying. It's like, when you think of LeBron, I've never, in all the time he's played, never heard of him in any controversy, never anything. Anytime I hear of LeBron, it's either he's basketball,
Yeah.
or he's doing some philanthropic work for Akron,
True.
or they're just stuff like that, or Cleveland saying thank you for getting us our first championship in any sport for 50 years. I've never ever heard anything like a personal family issue or issue with his wife. Nothing. I know nothing. And it's actually crazy to think about it. He's been in the league now for 20 years, so much so that his own son has joined and he's still playing.
Yeah.
And it's like, we've never heard of a single. The only time there was controversy was for the decision, another basketball related thing.
Yeah.
Him deciding to change teams.
Teams, not even about like personal life.
Not even anything personal. But it's like a lot of young players now, you know, look at the Travis Hunter situation. In fact, before that, some years back, you remember Zion and Mariah Mills with that situation. And it's like, what's going on, man? Like, what's going on?
So now you have this money. Why you do this?
Why? Just focus on...
Just to say that you did it.
Like, I don't get it. Just focus on... You're in a position where you're just in a position that majority of this world will never even come close to experiencing. Just focus on that. Do your thing. You have the skill. You have the talent. You made it. Congrats. Just focus on that. Anything that else that puts you away, cut it out straight away.
Yeah.
No questions asked. Your future's at stake. You know? Look at a supportive partner can do wonders. It can take you far. And I always remember LeBron and his family. Like, we know nothing, but yet, look at him.
Yeah, man. That's just the thing. That's just the thing. It's the way you carry yourself. Carry yourself accordingly. Don't, and come on, know your value as well. Exactly. I feel like you know your value. Once you know your value, you stop attracting what's not for you, you know? But as a sports person, as a person of value, a person of quality, there's no point in hanging around the wrong crowd, especially when they're not considering the fact that you, in a way, are their support. I feel like a lot of people just need to sit down and look at the fact that some of them are lucky to be around the people they know. Because some people just don't appreciate others. That's why they end up doing the things that they do, you know what I mean? That's why they end up doing the things that they do. Okay, I can't lie, bro. What are you afraid of? You got any fears, man? You afraid of the dog, bro?
I'm afraid of many things.
Name one thing.
Okay, I'm afraid of not being able to take care of my loved ones.
Okay. That's a fear of the future. I can't lie, man.
Yeah.
Not being financially stable.
Yeah.
When you got so many people looking up to you, you know what I mean? That can be very daunting, man. But today's topic, my people, fear. Because at some point we realized that fear keeps us in the same place. It's crazy, man. But let's try and define what we think fear is. I really just feel like fear is a thought. It's a thought that makes you unsure, makes you unsure of yourself, and it causes so many negative feelings inside. Like when I'm afraid, like you said, a fear of a lack of financial stability, I imagine myself just sitting down thinking of what I'm going to do, thinking of how I'm going to make money, thinking of if I do make money, but then I get hit with that reality that I don't have money or enough money now. And shoot, man, that just makes me shiver, it makes me quake, it makes me shake a little bit. And then I just become uncomfortable, bro.
Yeah.
I become uncomfortable and I'm just like, damn, if only this was different. If only I made so much money way back when.
Yeah.
But damn, man, how do you feel when you're afraid?
I think in terms of...
Or anxious, because anxiety is kind of related to
they're kind
fear.
of intertwined.
Yeah.
So with me, I think everyone reacts differently in terms of fear. Growing up, when I was afraid, like when I was a little kid, maybe sometimes I wet myself or, you know, just know that. But I think as of now, when I'm older, I get afraid, but it's not something that's visible that will show on my face is more of just like the inner uneasy feeling.
Mhm.
My body might tense up a bit, or it's like,
My hands start to
hands start to sweat. It's like heart rate starts going up.
Mhm.
It's like, feel a bit of adrenaline here and there.
Mhm.
But it's like, that's just how it is when I feel afraid. Because with fear, it's very interesting because it's like you can have fear of like something you see, like actual danger, like maybe
Yeah.
someone shooting or
Mhm.
something, and then it's like, okay, yeah, we're afraid, time to run.
Mhm.
Or then you can just be like sitting or being afraid of like the what ifs. That's
Yeah.
where the anxiety comes in.
Yeah.
So, usually in terms of, for me, most times it's usually the anxiety I'm feeling because, what ifs?
Mhm.
What's gonna happen tomorrow? How are we gonna make this money? Let's get this podcast moving. Like, let's keep it going,
Mhm.
like the job, relationships, expectations,
Yeah.
there's so many pitfalls. You could fall into so many bad things, so it's just a lot of that. You're always just thinking. For me, I'm always just thinking like all
Mhm.
of that. So it can, always just like get a bit too much.
Yeah,
Because it's
honestly,
like
yeah.
when you're thinking of so many things, you just start to like blank sometimes.
It's like you zone out.
Exactly.
And you're not really thinking of anything. It's just thoughts pop in, worries you more,
Yeah.
pops out, pops in, worries you more, pops out. You can never get a grasp of it, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy. How about this instance? You know when you're about to get into a fight,
Yeah.
you've already made up your mind. Yeah,
Yeah.
man, I'm clashing hands with this guy. When you're afraid of the fact that, you're about to fight someone and for some reason you feel a fear, what are you afraid of? Because like me, sometimes I might get into a fight and I'm confident that, I'm dealing with you.
Yeah.
But I might still get my heart racing, bro.
Yeah.
Like, or my hands might get sweaty. But I'm not afraid, like, oh my days, bro, this guy's gonna mess me up. Like,
that's half.
how do you feel? How do you feel, bro? Because sometimes I might worry that, oh, I might do too much or that person might be stronger than me, bro. But chat to me.
You know what? In terms of that, when I feel that feeling, when I'm about to get into a fight, I feel my body is tensing up, my heart rate is increasing. I feel a bit. This is a weird one, but I feel. Have you ever felt the feeling where you kind of feel like warm inside? Like,
oof, my leg starts to shake, bro.
Yeah,
that's probably the equivalent. My leg just starts shaking.
Yeah,
and it's like it's now or never.
Exactly, it's now or never.
I'm clashing or I'm not clashing.
The thing is, what my fear comes from is not the fact of like, oh, I'm about to fight this guy. Because usually it's like, you know how it is in the clubs and all that, especially when we were younger.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking of is like, okay, let me look at this guy very well. Does he have anything on him? Like, a knife, a gun? Because if he brings a gun,
yeah, of course,
you're done.
But that's not happening. Yeah,
But that's not happening. So what I do is I lean into it. I don't try and fight it.
yeah.
I don't, because what that is actually the body's way of getting you ready. So I use that as like, okay.
So you just accept it.
Accept
You're
it.
like, okay, we're here now.
We're here now. It is what it is. Put the fist up. We're going like a man. Like I don't try and fight and suppress. No, I just let it, wash my body, wash over me to put me in that mindset. My eyes may dilate or
your eyes turn red.
Yeah, when it's focused, locked in, like
okay.
when you lock in on someone that's like, because when I'm about to, I kind of lock in on the person. Everyone else comes like blurred vision, like when tunnel vision.
It's like you focus in
exactly on that one person, and then I do what I have to do. Like I try to avoid fighting, simply because, like, I don't want to hurt somebody. Because once there was a time I was a small kid, somebody got me upset. And it's like, when I go into that fight, I felt the feeling like this guy is bigger than me.
Yeah.
He's older than me, but he's pissed me off. So it's like, I'm feeling that feeling again. Like, okay, I'm going to do this. So what I just do is I pick up a towel and I fling it at his head. No, like, those broken.
What the hell?
It was broken. So it just cuts the head.
Damn, bro.
Just blood everywhere. I was like, okay.
And then so at that point you realize what you've done.
Exactly.
Then you're afraid.
That's what
you see.
That is it.
That's kind of like anger going into fear. You're about to fight, bro. Your blood's hot. You get annoyed, and you're just like, whatever. And then whatever happens, happens. Knock him out, he hits his head, or he slumps, or you really damage a person's face or whatever. And it's like, I just did that.
And you can't take it back.
Yeah, you can't take it back. So that's probably even scarier.
Yeah, exactly.
That's probably even scarier. But let's get into the classified fears. Now, by classified fears, I just mean the phobias. Now, phobias, I guess they are a fear of something, but I think as we were talking earlier before we started recording, you call them an irrational fear.
Yeah.
A fear that has no justification.
Yeah.
That's what I'm kind of taking it from. And the first fear that we can talk about is claustrophobia.
Yeah.
You know, a fear of tight spaces. You know, I don't understand phobias, just me personally, because for you to be afraid of that said thing, there has to be some correlation. Like, if you're afraid of tight spaces, was there anything that happened that put you in so many tight spaces? Were you being abused or punished in a way that you get put in a tiny room or an empty room? Like, what happens? Because you start off being like, oh, I don't want to be here by myself, to the walls are closing around me. There are so many different levels, man. And I always find it hard to understand, probably just because I don't see any reason to be afraid of such. Or for another example, arachnophobia.
Yeah.
The fear of spiders. The fear that every girl has. Bruh. A fear of spiders is another thing I don't understand, because are you afraid that it's venomous or it could poison you, or are you just afraid of how it looks? Because I guess if you zoom into a spider, it can look really creepy and stuff, you know, but that's another thing that I don't understand. Chat to me, bro. What do you think about, you know, the phobias or classified fears?
So I think...
And do you have a phobia?
Yes, actually, I do have a phobia. Mine is just claustrophobia.
You're actually afraid of tight spaces?
Yeah, I got zipped in the suitcase.
By who?
I can't remember. It was a long time ago.
What, like punishment or like?
No punishment. I was playing. I into the suitcase. And then I zipped it, but I couldn't unzip it out. And I was like, oh, shoot. Like, now, as an adult now, it's not really like a fear. I don't panic. You know, I don't panic in all that situation.
So someone's just going to casually just zip you up in a box?
Nobody can even zip
you know, funny, sorry to cut you in.
Yeah.
I saw a story, bro. This lady in America, I guess the story says she was abused by her boyfriend.
I think I know the story you're talking about.
And she's playing a game with him.
Yeah.
Zips him in the trunk.
And she was recording
him.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, this is how I feel. Now you know how I fucking feel.
Yeah.
Brother died.
Yeah.
Homie died in the box, bro. Yeah. Obviously, she got arrested, but damn it.
That was crazy, man. I remember seeing that. I was just like, what? Like what? Like,
man, that's crazy, bro. But talk to us about phobias, please.
I think with phobias, I think they can be from maybe a past experience, at least in my case, because
I believe it should come from past experience.
Yeah. But even now, for me, my phobia is not that much of a thing anymore. Like, I'll still feel uncomfortable, but it's not gonna really make me, a tight space. What am I gonna do? That type of thing. In terms of, you know, there's even this phobia. Now, this one I can never actually understand.
Go ahead.
It's called, if I'm correct, I think it's called calligraphobia, which is basically the fear of beautiful women. You see, like, to me, like,
that's definitely made up.
I can't understand that.
Y'all can't chat to ladies. I can't either. I understand.
Yeah. But like, that's just it, man. It's like a fear of beautiful women. I personally cannot understand that. It's like, beautiful women scare you. I feel bad for you, bro. Like, but yeah, like, with phobias is a really interesting thing. I think that's why they're irrational. There might not be any rhyme or reason as to why you're afraid of it.
You know?
Like, spiders, like, for some people it's so bad if you put, just like, if they're in a show that has a spider in it, they can't watch it, apparently. I'm serious. Like, you know the game, Helldivers 2? Yeah. There was, there's a mission with spiders in it.
Okay.
They actually had to alter that because people couldn't play it. Yes, because of spiders. They just couldn't play it. And it was affecting people's actual, like, people were streaming it. They would see spiders and they just turned it off. They can't do it. And I'm like, huh? But it's not even that. Like, I get, okay, if it's here, Like, okay, I could understand that to some degree. Like a tarantula that's like as big as my hand and furry, that I could get. Because those things are quite big.
Yeah, yeah.
Really weird. But on the digital screen, I just couldn't understand it. And I think that's just why they're called irrational fears. You know, that's just really where my head's at.
Irrational, and I also feel like people just allow those things become their identity. Oh shoot, I'm afraid of spiders, and boom, bro, for the rest of their life. Some people are also afraid of, it could be anything. Like some fears I got here now, the thing that I understand, acrophobia, also known as hypsophobia, is an extreme or irrational fear or phobia of heights. You got aerophobia. Aerophobia is the fear of flying. Then you got, what's this? Hemophobia, which is blood phobia, the fear of blood, the fear of seeing blood. I also don't get that one either.
Yeah.
Why you, what about seeing blood could scare a person?
I think it's just like the implications of it, I guess, because, with blood is our life force. What keeps the physical body alive as opposed to the spiritual body, but that's a different thing. But when you see blood coming out, it's like, oh, if this continues, you may bleed out and, you may die.
And some people think about it like that.
I guess so, because that's just the way I can put it in the terms of like, okay, I get it. Like, not all phobias I could get. At the end of the day, like, cool, it is irrational to me. Yes, this is an irrational fear. There is genuinely no cause for concern.
Yeah.
Like, okay, with blood, obviously with strangers' bloods, I can see, but your own blood, because it extends to the person's own blood as well. That is your own blood. I see that as just an irrational fear. There's not really much else that could come from it. But I think in terms of just maybe it's due to the implications surrounding it, like with spiders, maybe it's venomous, or calligraphobia. Okay, I don't get that one, but we'll skip that one. Fear of heights. Okay, maybe you're falling. What about falling from the high place?
I'd understand that. I'd be afraid, bro. You put me on a skyscraper, like there's something. The Burj Khalifa, Tom Cruise was sitting on the Burj Khalifa. No harness, no shoes.
I can't even.
That's scary.
But that is scary.
That's scary. You're so high up. And it will take you a minute to hit the ground.
You know what? I don't even see that as an irrational fear.
That's very irrational.
The danger is there.
That's very irrational.
You're on top of the tallest building in the world with no harness, no shoes, nothing. If you jump, you are done.
What about these stunts? These parkour stunt guys. There was an Asian guy way back when he was climbing a skyscraper with no harness as well. Oh no, he was hanging off it. Bro lost his grip. One hand. He still didn't look scared. He had to try and focus, bro. And his other hand just lets go.
Oh, he died?
Yeah, of course he died. Maybe it's at that moment that, the aerophobia and the all of that just came, bro. Because, like, see, don't get me wrong. The human body, the human mind is something that is uniquely great. It's something, just the human willpower, our resolve to get things done cannot be matched by any other thinking process until, I guess, AI and whatever. But for a person to push themselves that far is crazy because that's life-threatening.
Indeed.
That's life-threatening. But hey, man, when it comes to the phobias, I really feel like some of them are definitely irrational and some do make sense. Like, shoot, man, I'm afraid of tigers, lions, any kind of big cat, bro. Gee.
That's a bit ironic.
Yeah, of course, man.
Considering we're licensed in the room. That's kind of our mascot, bro. But I get it.
Can't be afraid of lions now. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Let's move on.
Okay.
So now we know that fear can play a very huge negative role in our lives.
Yeah.
But what does fear actually do when we let it in our lives? Me, I definitely say one point, it leaves us in the same position. I've mentioned that already. Or if anything, it makes us see ourselves as completely different people.
Indeed.
Now, I want to use the fear of the future as an example towards that. You're afraid of what's going to happen. Could be about a test. Let's use a test, for example, because even at work, like we have some people that still go through particular tests and maybe you've not prepared enough. Maybe you just find out that there's something else coming out on the test, or maybe you just don't believe in yourself. Now you're worrying and you're afraid of what's going to happen. And you're probably at that part where you're telling yourself, well, I might just fail, bro. Maybe I'll manage. Whatever happens. You know, like fear really, really causes us to lose that belief in ourselves. Fear causes us to act in ways that we are not used to. You know, when you are threatened by a terrible case, when you are threatened by a terrible situation in your life, you realize that at that moment, if you are not calm, you might end up making choices that you would regret due to either that fear or anxiety. Let me give you another instance. Your rent's due.
Yeah.
And you know you don't have enough money. You've probably been let go or you probably weren't paid enough. And this is another problem that's being added onto all your troubles.
Yep.
And you're just like, what am I going to do? You're stressing, bro. You're worrying. You realize that you're so afraid of what's going to happen that you've not made any changes and you've not taken any action to, get a move on, get this stuff pushing. You're still in zone 1, hoping to be in zone 5, but you're not moving. What do you think?
I think with fear has its positive effects and it has its negative. I'll start with the positives because it's really easy to point them out. When you see danger, fear kicks in, the fight or flight response. If you see a raging fire out of your control, fear, run away. A shootout, fear, run away. An explosion, fear, run away. You get the point. But in terms of the negative aspects, fear is actually crippling. It effectively just cripples you. Not physically, but it mentally cripples you. Where that human resolve would have kicked in, fear has kicked it out and replaced it. So where it's now, you push yourself to overcome the adversity. Instead, the adversity overcomes you simply because fear is like, it's doubt, it is worry, it is everything that is against you. It's just basically, oh, what if I can't do this? What if I can't do that? When you keep thinking about it, then you just don't even try because you're afraid of failing.
100%.
The fear of failing has crippled one. It is, as you said, it stagnates. It's actually one of the, when fear is negative, it's like one of the worst things on this planet. There are worse things, but people will not achieve their potential, their full potential, due to fear. People's potential is crippled, their progress cut in half. Whatever they could have done, that limit, they can't pass it because of fear. And once fear takes over one's life, it turns, some people just become recluse. Like, they're just afraid to leave their house. It can be so bad for some people, they can't even step out of their house anymore. They can't even be functioning independent adults. So when fear is something one has to be very, very aware of. Like, it is good when it's good, but when it's bad, it's really bad. I can't stress this enough, especially for the viewers out there who are watching this. When you feel afraid, I understand that, you might think you might fail, but it's even worse if you didn't try. If you let fear take over your life, you will not even try to pursue what it was you wanted to do.
That is true.
You will not even try any ideas that come to your mind. You would just brush them to the side. One of those ideas could be $1 million idea, and you didn't do it because you were afraid. Someone else thought of it. Now they have the money. You do not. You are still where you were at,
and you're still just there, man.
Exactly.
I like how you've put this, because you can either use your fear to push yourself positively, or the fear remains with you and keeps growing and growing on the negative. That's really good, man. So regardless of how the fear comes, we can still make use of it to achieve. We can still make use of it to conquer. What about fear tactics? Scare tactics,
Scare tactics. The thing with scare tactics is people use scare tactics for supposed positive and negative reasons.
Yeah, why is it called supposed? Why is it supposed? Because like I feel that any person that needs to use scare tactics isn't doing it for a good reason. Like if I came out to say, look at all you're doing, look at the wrong you're doing, if this is the same, if this is what you're going to keep doing, or if this is a track you continue to follow, this is a consequence or whatever, I don't feel like that's scaring. I'm letting you know of the outcome. If I come out and say, oh, do you want to end up here? Do you want to end up there? Do you want to be on the road? Do you want to die a lot? I'm trying to scare you. I'm trying to scare you to, pump you up so that you can get out of that situation.
Yeah.
I feel like there's always going to be a way to speak to somebody without having to use the fact that this is going to happen to them, regardless of regardless of how close or far they are from that outcome. I would always kind of say there's a better way to speak, but a lot of people end up using these tactics knowingly and sometimes unknowingly.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, in terms of, so with what you said, that's like more of like, I'm just letting you know the consequences of your actions.
Yeah.
If you do A, it will lead to B, which leads to C. That is it. I have no point in this. But in terms of like, okay, so Ojuju Calabar, Lady Coin Coin, all those. Okay, exactly. That's a bit of, to me, that was scare tactics. Like, don't go.
Did you say Lady Coin Coin, Madam Coin Coin? No, be so.
I thought it would.
Madam.
We used to call her Lady Coin
My people
Coin.
correct us in the comments. Lady Coin Coin or Madam Coin Coin?
Yeah, because we used to call her in Ibadan, because we used to call her Lady Coin Coin.
Madam Coin Coin.
All that you be hearing coin. That type of thing is like, if you go out late at night, you meet Ojuju Calabar. You know what? Even if Ojuju Calabar is actually real, right? That's just a scare tactic. Like, that's just
for little kids.
It's for little kids. That's why
Bush Baby.
Bush Baby. My dad used to tell me about Bush Babies. He would tell me, and I'll be like, what does he look like? He would say, it sounds like a baby. It has ears like a bat. I was like, what? And I would listen. I would like,
do you ever go looking for that?
I even tried, man, because you know what? In my grandmother's place, it's behind like a forest. I'll just sit there, maybe let me see a Bush Baby, like, because the trees are really high. So I'll be like, I would look like, that's something that I wanted to know till tomorrow, that I need to know what a Bush Baby looks like. Because they say when it cries, you think it's a baby. That's why they call it Bush Baby.
Sure.
Stuff like that. And like, obviously, that's for positives. Like, obviously, okay, don't go out at night. When you're older, they'll explain to you why. But as right now, okay, imagination, Lady Coin Coin or Madam Coin Coin, please, guys, let us know actually in the comments. I need to know.
Team Madam Coin Coin.
I'm Team Lady Coin Coin. Thank you. But all those things, and Ojuju Calabar and all these things is like, okay, these are scare tactics for children, like, where they just, so that they behave. And like, that's the positive ones, so that, go into dangerous situations.
Still scare tactic.
Yeah, it's still a scare tactic. I could now, in a bit of a more controversial one, all those Scared Straight programs where they send like juvenile kids
where they be
prison.
screaming at them and stuff.
Yeah, they will carry them. Like, some would say it's positive, some would say it's negative. I don't know how I would put them. I'd say it's a bit controversial in the sense that apparently, because a lot of the kids that used to go to them actually started reoffending. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Like, okay, so they weren't even learning.
They weren't learning. They actually were like, so I really don't know how I'd say if it's good or bad. I'm leaning towards, it's probably not worth it. Like, you could show them, but to actually put them in that situation can be a bit traumatic.
Yeah.
Especially one of them was killed as a result, but that's just a different story. Some of them were assaulted, so it's like that just causes more resentment. Now,
cause funny enough, it's on TV.
Exactly.
They've seen your face.
They've seen your face. They've seen you.
You're that kid from Scared Straight.
Remember that meme? There's a meme of police rushing into one boy.
God.
He's like,
yeah, bro, you was scared.
They used that meme. They rinsed that meme. Used it for so many things.
That's wild.
It wouldn't be nice to see that. Like, where they use you for meme and all that. Now, in terms of the negative ones, let's get into those ones. The scare tactics, manipulation.
Yeah.
I can the one that comes to mind is like, say someone's in a relationship, you want to get the person to do something. You
Mhm.
might threaten to leave them, or you might threaten to stop helping them with something, especially it's a situation where like the one partner is dependent on the other,
Yeah.
all those types of things, those, typical scare tactics. Or you might, if someone's in a position of power, you might abuse your power in the sense that, like, if you don't, okay, this African magic film, um,
Why do you assume that I know it?
what-
Why do you assume
I
that I know
just
it?
thought you'd know it. Like, okay, excuse my language here, but it's like, do you remember that one video? It was like, if you think you can graduate from this uni without kissing my cock,
I
you
know
know,
it. I know it.
I knew you know it. I know. Like, that's a scare tactic. Like, you're gonna fail them just because he didn't kiss you.
Yeah.
But you get the point. That's a scare tactic to me. It's like, to be afraid to fail, so like you abused your power, that's negative. It's the same thing with threatening your partner,
Mm-hmm.
or even when someone maybe is like getting rowdy at a party, and then they get kicked out and they're like, oh, I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna shoot this place up and all that stuff, another scare tactic. They may not even mean it per se, but they might just, oh yeah, I'm still gonna do it anyways, but like just to scare someone. Or when people try and threaten, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. That's just me for in terms of like the negatives for scare tactics. Well, what do you think? What do you think, man?
The name of the movie was Stolen Kiss.
Aha! Yes, you got it. Yeah.
Don't know for you. But yeah, man, nah, bro. Scare tactics. I don't rock with scare tactics, bro.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, people get older, and I feel like every human being is able to look back and reflect on things that have happened to them. You can have a deep dive and just think about what you want for yourself, and thinking about that, you then go to your past. And when you see those particular things happening or happen to you, they make you, sometimes they make you quite resentful. Sometimes they don't even change you. Now, you mentioned, like threatening a partner. That stuff is wrong, man. Like, I can attest to it. Like, don't let anything cause you to speak to a loved one in a particular way, because it's just wrong, man. It's just wrong. Like, yeah, damn, man. It's not a good thing to do, bro, because for a loved one to then be afraid of you,
Yeah.
you don't know how it feels until you experience it, and that's something I never want to experience. So whenever I realize that I've done something wrong, I always be like, I'm sorry, like, and you have to change in it, actions, you have to give actions, man. But hey, let's keep it going, bro. I feel like when it comes to all of this, there are a few ways to overcome fear, the main thing for us as Christians, we will always say to put our faith in God.
Yes.
It says that in the Bible, do not be afraid. Just that phrase has appeared more than 50 times in the Bible. They say conspiracy has probably been there a lot more, like close to 350, but recorded actually could be 70. So I'm just like, damn. The Lord tells us not to be afraid, but we still have to fear the Lord. We not as though we fear him as this dangerous being, but this loving being with the power to create, nurture, and still judge. When it comes to being able to overcome fear, you also kind of have to look at the things that you can control in this life. You look at the things that you can control and you look at the things that you can't control. You realize that more times when you get afraid, you're thinking about the things you can't control. When you look at the things you can control, when you start to get afraid, it's normally when, it's gradually moving from you and you're no longer able to grasp it the way you used to. A lot of people just need to be able to sit down, have that opportunity to look back at things, look back at their own life, look back at the times when you weren't afraid, because you weren't always afraid your whole life. You were afraid of a particular instance, and then you said, hey, or there was someone to pick you up, maybe a loved one, a mom, or you picked yourself up. There's so many people to look at. You have influential people on your timelines, on your For You pages. Social media gives you the luxury to see and hear about the stories of other people and what they went through their challenges, what they were afraid of. And the fact is that you see them today thriving.
Yeah.
So we can all thrive, man. That's one thing for sure. We can always thrive. Do not be afraid of something that hasn't even left your mind. Because if it hasn't left your mind, then it's not ready for reality. Don't push yourself back, and do not allow fear to backtrack you, when you are trying to achieve your goals. All right, Kay, I feel like when it comes to this episode, our episode on fear has been a success. I'd say it's been pretty good.
100.
But we got a few questions from the fans. Gotta say a big thank you to you guys for dropping your questions. But it's about you this time, man.
Oh, wow.
So, a question. Let's see. Cool. Caller, I can tell that you are an energetic individual. But when your day begins to slide? When you begin to have a bad day, how do you bounce back?
Okay, so I start by thinking of all the ways I can crash out. Exactly, yes, as I've said, I think of all the ways I could potentially crash out and ruin my life. And then I realize that if I do any of these things, I cannot take it back. I cannot change the past. And that is it. No more. You won't even see me on the podcast anymore. Nothing. And then I remember that, look, I can't control what has happened. I cannot change the past. It was a bad day. I can't change it. But what I can focus on is the future. And if I do productive things in the future, cause and effect, and with the help of the Almighty, our Lord and Savior, I believe that things will turn out all right. Matthew 6:34 says, don't worry about tomorrow, let tomorrow worry about itself. So I just do the best that I can. Sometimes it's not always going to be 100% day, and that's fine. I accept it. I don't necessarily try and force myself to get happy, but I just accept it and I move on. Tomorrow is going to be better. I'm not going to worry about tomorrow.
It's good to know that you give yourself some time, man. A lot of people should do that, honestly, because today is going to be different from tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be different from the day after. So just be ready for a come up. Get ready for the come up season, and always believe that things will be better. The sun shines, and so does it set.
Yeah.
Clouds form and they dissipate. Next question.
Okay.
Next question here is, the funny thing is I picked these questions. I checked out some of the questions they sent, and I picked this myself. What's your favorite color? Because all you wear is black.
Ooh la la. Yes, you know what? I'm very happy you noticed that, because I need to know that my audience is watching us.
Yeah, cameras over here, nigga.
Exactly, guys. Yeah. My favorite color is not black, funny enough, actually. I think my favorite color is purple.
Really?
Yeah. I'll explain why.
Yeah, because that's you only have one purple.
Yeah, I know. Now,
the reason, me, nigga.
Dude, I'm serious. My favorite color is purple. Even at work, I put my name
in purple.
In purple, yeah. So the reason why I picked purple is because, if I'm correct, purple is a combination of red and blue, right?
Yeah.
And with human beings, with life, is always a tightrope. You're walking a tightrope.
Yeah.
You could go into the blue, you could be good. You can go into the red, you could be bad. Everybody has good and bad in them. Everyone has good traits, everyone has bad traits. Everyone has the capacity to do good and the capacity to do bad. You see people, maybe someone does something for the community, a soup kitchen feeds people. You see someone else crashing out and just, ending the lives of many people. And I picked purple because at the end of the day, nobody's perfect. Everyone has good and bad, light and dark. I'm sorry. I think, did that sound cringe? Light and dark?
Light and dark, no.
Okay. So I thought it was. But yeah, everyone has good in them, bad in them, light and dark. And it's like, no one person is either truly good
or truly
evil. And purple is just a combination of the two. And that's why I like purple.
So you could crash out at any minute. And or you can just be like, yeah, have a nice day.
Exactly. It depends on the day. You could either greet someone and be like, hey, dude, how you doing? Or on the other day, well, time to crash out. And yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Guns blazing. For the final question there, man, it's a question for both of us, actually. When are you going to have more female guests?
Yeah,
Well, I
knew
tell
this
you
question was
what.
gonna happen.
I tell you what, because we are loved by the ladies anyways. Just the ladies don't love the cameras. Hopefully we do get some more ladies coming on. We did have Faith, which was a lovely episode. We have the episode with Ruth. I hope you guys enjoy the episode with Ruth, and hopefully we have a lot more. We do have a lot of friends though. We got a friend in Japan, or a friend that went to Japan, Renee. So it'll be lovely to talk about her experience there as well. And yeah, that's the only person I'm gonna mention because I actually don't know any ladies, bro. Like,
Yeah, don't
I have
worry.
been so barren. Like, I don't chat to girls no more, bro. I've been so focused on this grind, man.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my.
think you know what? I think, guys, I understand. I knew this question was coming because we even spoke about this. Yeah, we have a lot of male friends coming on. We will try and bring more female friends. We actually, not that we don't have, but we just need to create the environment. Well, not even that. It's
Just
just
need a wider perspective.
exactly a wider
We need a
perspective.
woman's touch, you
A
know.
woman's touch to just, give her view on things and whatnot. Because the episode with Faith was great. Episode with Ruth as well. Hope you guys enjoyed that. It was great. We will have more with women coming in. All right, guys. Just stay tuned. Do not leave us. Stay and continue watching, and you will see.
And hey, you never know. If you would like to be on the podcast, if you're in Reading, honestly, give us a shout. We will go through what do you call that? What the vetting process?
Yeah, background check.
Yeah.
We need to know that you are a stable individual and you don't immediately crash out on the studio.
No psychos. We can only deal with color here.
Yeah, exactly. We can't have to. It just won't work. I'm sorry. We will vet you. Just look, you have the Instagram. We put it out every time. If you are in Reading or if you are able to come to Reading, and we will vet you, do the background check to see you're all right. Not looking to cause problems. And if you're just willing to, relax, have a good time, then why not?
100%.
Yeah.
100%, man. But hey, this has been your host, Leo, and my boy, Kay. Thank you very much for coming on again, man. Lion in the Room, people, episode 17. We are done. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell your mom, tell your dad. We love you guys. God bless. Peace.
Goodbye.
All right. That's cool.